What legacy are you leaving behind?
The Black Family First program aims to reconnect the family at the root.
Healing both ancestral and personal trauma by way of creating bonds through communication, understanding, reason, compassion, connecting oneself to family, friends and the community.
Reminding the older generation to be role models and mentors, and in turn, teaching the younger generation the building blocks on how to live, love, and respect one another for a stronger family union.
That way, the next generation bears the fruits of our labour and our experiences. Black Power starts with your melanin, uniting the Black family first.
There is a rationale, there's a reason behind it. You know, one of my guests, and I'm sure both of my guests have said this, that often pharmaceutical companies don't actually deal with the source of the issue, but often with the symptoms. So it's very surface in terms of how it combats diseases and disorders in our bodies. However, with regards to holistic approach, it includes and it encompasses the whole person, not just aspects of the person, but the whole person. It takes an African-centered approach to our health and well-being. And if we want to look back in our history, we just have to look at the Egyptian historical, the medicine men, Hotep. What can I say? So I give thanks for being in the moment. I give thanks that I'm here, that I had this opportunity to interview this man. In actual fact, I've been having conversations about him for a couple of months now. And so I am so thrilled that Dr. Abu has given up his seat to allow me to get to know this man even more so and talk about the fantastic work that he's been doing. So with that said, please bear with me, my people. What I'm going to do right now is just line up their mics, and I'm just going to drop another one from our very own Maccabee. Because that's what we want. We have to speak it into existence.
Exactly.
Well, give thanks for that. So I've just checked our mics are working perfectly well. So I'm going to kick off with the interview in about a couple of minutes and just continue to brief, and I'll be right back.
Saturday, actually Friday, I left Jamaica. Friday. So right. I've been just, and then it's non-stop since I've landed, but I'm having a blast. I mean, I was telling him, you know, he's saying we're busy, my partner, Ross Alkaline. The same similar thing, rubbing down the oil. We basically get the onion oil in there. We get some, for him, because he already at stage pneumonia, which is the last stage of life.
Oh, did he?
Yes. He was hanging on. I checked his oxygen. His oxygen was 88. A normal person is 95. A normal old person is 95.
Right.
A normal person is 99, 100.
Yeah.
Like myself. I check mine, I check his. Mine was 99, his was 88. I keep checking the machine. This couldn't be right. This man should be dead.
Wow.
With his pneumonia. That means the pneumonia has taken over his lungs.
Yeah.
And no oxygen can come in. It's basically a walking dead.
So,
and the night we gave him the medications, we gave him all the things. And his wife was there vigilantly throughout the night that he's not going anywhere.
So
you see, the next day I came back.
Yeah.
Because we're not leaving him alone now. We're going back to make sure he gets rid of this mucus. She showed me all the stuff that came up, all the glass and mucus and all this stuff. Then she gives me, then I took his oxygen again, and it was 98%. He has now come back from the dead.
So tell me, considering the approach that most hospitals across the world has taken in terms of treating people that have got the COVID or system and putting them on those machines, what's your opinion on that?
They've taken the Gustavo's approach.
Okay.
The death camps approach.
Oh.
They're putting them on a machine. Why you don't put someone on a machine when they're not machine? They're human, they have cells.
And here, the COVID.
Yeah, but they have cells. So why don't you fix it from the cellular point of view rather than a machine that's going to burst your lungs open with already full of mucus?
Well, recent studies that I've seen, I can't quote where I got the studies from, but we are seeing a shift in opinion as to how effective that line of treatment was, especially for people in the UK, and whether that has really increased the rates of death, whether it's contributed in actual
Well, in the
fact.
US, we've already seen the research.
Yes.
80% of death was contributed by the machine.
And there is research to support that.
Yes. The deaths that happen in Elmont at the point of, what they call that, zero?
Yeah.
Zero, whatever they call it. When it's
Ground zero.
Ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those people, even some of them weren't even supposed to be on the ventilators. They came in with anxiety, they're coughing, they're worried because the air is full of this bacteria, which is not even a virus, it's a bacteria. This air is full of this bacteria because whoever sprayed in there to get these minority people sprayed it there, right? And it's spreading. So, because I heard the first story that they went to a party and there was one person and then it just like, madness, nothing happened. Right. Just like they said, oh, AIDS came from Africa because some black people down there had sex with monkeys. And AIDS was built right there in America. Was orchestrated right there in America. And some of the guys who take it down to Africa to inject it in the people accidentally get it in them system and well, I don't want to say it on the air because it'll come after me. Yeah. But those men who travel and go places, flight attendants, they spread it as they go. Because at first, the original one was of that nature. We don't want to get, that's another show.
Okay, most definitely.
But, you know, so basically, that's what's happening. They spread it in these areas, the minority there. A lot of people come in with anxiety, and they put them on the ventilator because they can't breathe. They can't, you know, and it's after some of them died, then they realize they didn't even have COVID.
So tell
symptoms.
us, from your perspective, what is COVID? And Brother Alkaline, I'd love to bring you in here. And I'm going to ask you to do your introduction, Mo. But let me just quickly ask you, just break it down for our community. What is COVID?
COVID is...
Oh, the coronavirus, rather.
Yeah, the coronavirus has always been with us. Over 120, 200 years. Because, you know, a lot of the appliances that deal with disinfectant and cleaning, you'll see it on there. Kill coronavirus.
Yes.
So it's been with us for a long time.
Yes.
So why we never have a pandemic with it if it's right there?
But what's the drama now?
And we're always exposed to new bacteria and viruses. The only way we're going to get ahead of them is by being exposed to them. We cannot run and hide from them so that when they catch us, our immune system is already down.
So is there some argument in this crowd immunity that the government is talking about, that the majority, the more people that get it and are asymptomatic, that would help build up our
of course
herd immunity?
You would need
to.
vaccines if you just are exposed and you deal with it just like a common cold. We've been getting common colds for the last thousands of years.
So is it a family of the common cold?
It is. It's an influenza. It's a family of the influenza.
It's a cold.
So it's a cold.
It's similar to SARS.
Right. And MERS, which all came from China at some point. N1H1 and all that stuff. N1H1 killed over 60 million people in the U.S. 6 million people in the U.S. during Obama time, and there was nobody even talk about it, and that's more people now. Nobody talks about it. It was never a panic. It was nothing. So why are they making a big deal about 800,000 people dead worldwide? When 4 million people died last year from flu, why did they never make a big deal about that?
The only thing about this, the difference within this one is, when it actually attacks you, if you can stop it from going down into your lungs, you're okay. When it attacks you, it moves so fast that it builds up mucus in such a rate, it stops you from breathing. That is the difference between this one and
getting your
other
oxygen.
one. So it cuts your oxygen straight away. So if you're not a healthy person and your immune system is not strong, you are in deep, deep trouble. So when you go and they give you on ventilation, you're already full of mucus.
So when they put you on the ventilating machine, it's counterproductive.
It's making it worse.
Right, because it's supposed to be clearing up enough areas to get oxygen in. But it's actually, because there's so much mucus there already, there's no oxygen to get in because it's already clogged with mucus. The key thing is to get rid of the mucus. That's what we've been doing in Jamaica with my patients.
How have you dealt with it?
Right, so when I give them the onion and garlic to smell, and it goes down in there and hit, just like, it's almost like taking
those things that used to wake sniff. It's
right.
not sniff.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
when someone faints and then you put it under your nose.
But it's so strong.
Right, you get the mental lipid kind of reaction, right? The Vicks and stuff like that. Right, those things would help just because in the sinus area is where the mucus is, so it breaks it up very fast.
Yeah.
Now imagine all that mucus that you get in your sinus when you have these sinusitis or this kind of cold, these yellow things that comes out.
Yeah.
Imagine your lungs is full of all of that.
Wow.
So that is what it is.
So it gets to your lungs very fast. And the death is usually by pneumonia, suffocation, suffocation, where you're
drowning
your own
drowning yourself.
You know. So why would you put a ventilator on them when it's only gonna keep compressing it inside of the lungs? You need something to get the mess out of the lungs so they can breathe.
All right then. So let me move over to you, Ras Alkaline. Please tell the listeners your name and what you do.